I give people a pass because hockey games are hard.
Those are tough.
Pierre Turgeon, another one that he had trouble with.
Yes.
Before this, he was the Panthers special teams coordinator since 2016. Eric, what are your thoughts on the hire?
Just really want to touch on the Panthers special teams coordinator now. They didn't want to renew his contract because Giants fans, you'll appreciate this name, Chase Blackburn was given the chance to become the special teams coordinator. But I think the thing... Yeah, but wow. I think the thing that what they're most intrigued about is because, honestly, Brad Wing, the punter for the Giants, did not do relatively well. Aldrich Rosas was another name that was honestly a horror show.
Battle, but then, yet again, every team does every year. So
yeah, but the thing is like, he looked good in the preseason. They signed, well, not even signed. Yeah, kind of signed.
They brought in Mike Nugent to have a
for competition.
Kicking competition.
And Aldrich Rosas earned the job. But the thing is, the Giants didn't get anywhere near the end zone to give him an absolute shot. But the thing is, I am not a fan of Tom Quinn. I have not been for a very long time, so I'm very happy that he's out of there because you need a fresh start. David Gettleman knows that, and honestly now Pat Shurmur, who is the official Giants head coach, he'll be introduced on Friday, knows that. But the thing is that what we're missing here is that McGaughey was at LSU with Brad Wing, with Odell Beckham Jr. So I think that's the thing that really intrigues them because he's been with Brad Wing before, and he knows what he can do. So in terms of not really like... I'm going to call it reloading because Brad Wing has the potential to be a very good punter in this league, and I think that he can be the one to do it. I am a fan of the move.
All right, so let me ask you a question. I actually kind of have two questions for you.
What's up?
The first one's kind of quick, but so would you think that maybe they go with Odell Beckham Jr. as their punt returner now, or do you think they still keep it with Dwayne Harris? Because obviously he's well deserving of it, but you kind of just see it.
I think they're going to cut Dwayne Harris.
Really? Well, you know what? That's actually something to look at because it depends on how much time he has left on the Giants.
I don't think it's crazy to call Odell Beckham Jr. the punt returner. I can see.
Would you want to put him at risk like that though? Because
that's the thing.
Unless you're really talented, then they'll put you there. But you don't really want to risk a elite wide receiver in the league getting hurt from punt returns.
Odell has the talent to do it. I'd be very wary of him doing it because God
he's done
forbid,
it before. That's why I asked.
Right, I can see him doing it. I can't see Dwayne Harris on the team next year. If he is, I'm not going to be crying about it. I'm not going to be happy about it. He's to me. He's depth.
Yeah,
that's all he is.
He's not really a wide receiver. He's just really there for the returns.
Right, but if someone gets hurt, because I do think that for some reason Brandon Marshall's still going to be on the team next year. So if Brandon Marshall gets hurt, Dwayne Harris could step in if he's still on the team. I can see Sterling Shepard being the punt returner.
That's possible.
That's
I can see that.
And then just real quick, my second question was, because I saw you tweeted about this.
Yes.
I just wanted to bring it up. So, there was some speculation that the Giants are looking at Jack Del Rio for the defensive coordinator. And personally, I really don't like the move.
Really? You don't like that?
I don't. I just feel like, I don't know. Again,
I do, to be honest with you.
If you want me to be honest, I'm just sick and tired of coaches getting second chances, to be honest with you. Even if it's at a defensive coordinator role. I just feel like I can't stand the constant rotation. And
yeah, but he was a good defensive coordinator though before he went to Oakland.
I was going to say, is there something about Del Rio that you don't like?
I don't know.
Is there something that he does that just irks you?
And I feel like, all right.
Well, I think Dominic's thing is, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dominic, that you want to see these young position coaches get a shot.
Yes, but then also if you look at the Raiders and the team they had, I understand he was the head coach, so he controlled both the offense and the defense. But when you look at the defense, mainly, that defense was a good defense before last season. Now, you don't really know. The only thing you can really say about them is Khalil Mack.
He did a horrible job at the Raiders last year. There's no question about that. But he's had success in the past.
Yeah.
And also, you want to give the Giants that experience on the defensive side because they have a lot of young defensive players like Dalvin Tomlinson and Landon Collins, just to name a couple.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So the Titans hired Mike Vrabel to be their head coach. Before this, he was the Texans' defensive coordinator since last season. What do you think of the hire?
Something funny he said was actually that he was always scared to make a plan against Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
So it's good.
And now he doesn't have to.
Exactly. But Joe, you were about to jump into it.
Yeah, I think he would be a great fit for a head coach on many teams, but I think that, putting him on the Titans, being that also he's a defensive-minded coach, I feel like that does Mariota a little bit of a disservice. And I think one of the reasons why Mularkey was fired is because of the regression of Marcus Mariota. A little stat here. In 2016, he had 26 TDs, 9 picks, and last year he had 13 TDs and 15 interceptions. So that being said, if they find a good offensive coordinator, it might work out well, but I'm just not sure if that's the right fit for Mariota on the Titans.
Mariota regressed last year. There's no question about that. I personally like Mike Mularkey. They won a playoff game last year. I wanted the Jets to maybe look at him for offensive coordinator. I know Calvin Watkins didn't like that. But I'm not crazy about the move. I don't hate it. I know Mike Vrabel was a very sexy name in terms of head coaching candidates. He's only been a defensive coordinator for 1 year. Obviously was an excellent linebacker. We saw him a lot, him being a former Patriot, and went to the Chiefs along with Matt Castle. Remember that trade, Dominic?
Mm-hmm.
That was fun getting Castle out of the division. And then, of course, he ends up not doing too well in Kansas City, and the argument becomes, oh, it's just a system team in New England, just a system team. No, it's nonsense. You know, the Patriots, I think they're going to win their 6th Super Bowl. You don't do that by accident. You don't do that just because of one system.
Something to notice about the Titans that I feel like, it can go both ways in terms of if you're going to go for a defensive coordinator or an offensive coordinator for, that team. Because when you look at now their offense and defense, I both say they're just both average, not one's good and one's bad. You can kind of go either way. They went defensive coordinator, so I feel like the defense is something you have to improve more. But when you look at the offense, I just feel like, I don't know, there's just something there that it's just not clicking. And I feel like, Mariota had an off year, and I do think he'll do better next year. I mean,
Eli Manning had a bad year in his career where he led the league in interceptions.
Yeah,
so
plenty.
Please don't remind me.
Players have bad years.
27 interceptions.
Yep, I remember that. That was
hard.
Fun. Yeah, that was. I can't really say what I truly feel about it, but there's a verb that humans do.
Yeah,
that,
I hear you.
Yeah.
We got the point.
Yeah,
but looking at Mariota in the postseason, makes me have confidence that I think Mariota is going to be a good quarterback in this league if he's not considered already. So I think I don't know. I feel like you just need more weapons on there. You need a more reliant defense. I think it's just both their offense and defense is average. Nothing's good, nothing's awful. It's just average.
It's going to be important to see who Vrabel brings in to be offensive coordinator because he whiffed on Ryan Day, who stayed at OSU.
Mm-hmm.
The Cardinals hired Steve Wilkes to be their head coach. Before this, he was the Panthers' defensive coordinator since last season. What are your thoughts on the hire?
Well, to begin with, the defense automatically had a bad year, and, there's some pretty noticeable names on that defense, that you think, they would still be a contender at least. And, you got Honey Badger, obviously.
Honey Badger don't care.
Chandler Jones, Deion Buchanan, Patrick Peterson, Tyron Branch, and then also you got the first-round pick, out of Temple last year, Hassan Reddick. And then I understand you lost Calais Campbell, and obviously that was a huge piece because you could see, what he did in Jacksonville and how much, again, Arizona lost. So I think it's good that they're addressing the defensive side of the ball. I understand that, you just lost Carson Palmer, but honestly, I can see the Cardinals trading up in the draft, draft one of these quarterbacks. I mean, do they have to trade up that much? I don't know exactly where they are in terms of the draft.
They're below the Jets, I know that.
Yes, that I do know.
Eric, can you look to see what position the Cardinals are drafting in this year?
Cardinals draft position,
I believe it's definitely top 15, but they might want to make a bigger splash and actually get one of the more confident quarterbacks.
That is not a desirable job because they're without Carson Palmer, Bruce Arians, the offensive guru left, David Johnson's coming back from injury. You don't know what
team too.
Yeah. You don't know what you're going to get out of him.
I believe they're the oldest team in the NFL, too,
Larry Fitzgerald might retire.
Actually, I don't know about that. There's been a lot of rumors about him coming back for a year, which I would not be surprised. I mean, he still had a great year. Fantasy
is
helped.
A first-ballot Hall of Famer. There's no question about that. So we got about 2 minutes left. It's time for the bottom of the ninth. Dominic, we'll start with you.
Mine goes out to the Patriots. You wouldn't really expect me to say that, but I don't understand how they do it every year. But, I think they're cheating.
You got to respect them.
Yeah. But I think they are cheating the system this year, and I don't mean by the refs. The home team is technically usually supposed to wear the home jerseys. You got the stat that, the team that wears the away uniforms in the Super Bowl, has won 12 out of the last 13. But now since they're the home team, they're choosing to wear the white ones. You are cheating the system. It's not going to work that way. Let's go Eagles.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Eric, what position are the Cardinals in this year?
15, and actually, really quick, 15, it's a mock draft. They're picking Mason Rudolph. And
at 15?
At 6, the Jets are picking Josh Rosen.
Oh,
and at 2, the Giants are picking Connor Williams.
Wow.
Ooh, that's high, but it's
2?
good, though. I like Connor Williams, but that's
too high. What mock draft
high.
is that?
It just says Land of 10. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they're a very reputable source.
I've never heard of it, but that's where the Cardinals are picking 15. You heard it here first. But as a Giants fan, I have no rooting interest in the Super Bowl. I really don't.
You're not going to root for the Patriots just to spite the Eagles?
See, look, I'm going to be a little selfish here. I don't want to see the Eagles win because I want Eli Manning's win against the Patriots. No, because if you think about it,
heard that all day today.
Listen, it's more impressive when he's the only player to beat Tom Brady not once but twice.
Holy hell. You just snapped. I thought you were going to lurch across the room and kill Dominic.
No.
Holy
there have been
moly.
worse things that have happened.
Joe, you're going to have to break these guys up.
Yeah.
What's your bottom of the ninth, buddy?
Well, first of all, I want to say that, if Carson Wentz was in the Super Bowl, it would have massive appeal. But my bottom of the ninth goes out to Alex Rodriguez, who was actually promoted to being the Sunday Night Baseball commentator, along with Matt Vasgersian, who I love. And I think A-Rod has done a really, really good job of, his post-baseball career of reviving his sort of reputation among, the public.
So it's Vasgersian, A-Rod, and Jessica Mendoza?
Correct.
Okay. All right, I like 2 out of those 3. I don't like Jessica Mendoza.
Yeah, so it's better,
So Don Imus is having his last show on March 29th. My childhood is going. I grew up with Mike and the Mad Dog and later Mike Francesa. I'm wearing a Francesa shirt today. Don Imus, I grew up with him in the mornings, man. The I-Man. Yeah, he's 77.
Before Boomer and Carton.
I mean, he's 77. You gotta give the guy credit. I will miss him dearly. All right. Looks like we're about out of time here on Beyond the Game. For Dominic Arbolino, Eric Fischetti, and Joe Ardita, I am Jacob Volk saying, do you realize that even as we sit here, we're hurling through space at a tremendous rate of speed? Think about it. Our world is just a hanging curveball.